I'm not sure what the grandparents' position is, so I don't know if we have contested issues or not.
So that's a no. All right, so we'll figure out getting them.
It's pretty clear that we do not have issues resolved at the, you know, we can discuss it.
Yeah, I mean, you have time while we're sorting all these out, so I'm happy to, if there's any.
My question to you is, what is it that they
Hear
have?
it, but, Jack, go out in the hallway, council, what's going on, that's
That'd get real ugly. Do you have your next hearing down 4/22 at 8:30? Do you have that down?
Yeah. That's what they,
Is that what you have?
in my paperwork too, yes, I believe.
Okay, let's make sure here.
So I actually had them look through the online file before the paperwork was even
Wait a minute,
on.
this
It's been
is
here like 5
brand
times.
new. A bunch of stuff in here I've never seen before, so.
Yeah, she texted them and asked them.
Yeah,
if
8:30.
they should sign.
On the 22nd of April.
And then-
Yeah, within reason. And that's your,
Immediately after,
You didn't share it with me.
that's your permanent.
it was communicated between my clients and I,
Yep.
and they shared it with her.
Have you seen this?
No, I've not seen this.
But the terms,
Nice,
Did you have these terms?
I can't even read it because
Okay.
I
You need to go
have a copy of that.
outside. You need to go outside, it's not proper.
Yeah.
I'll do it right back.
Let me go inside.
well, what we agreed to was never executed. So what did you read? So paragraph 4, 5.
It's because that mediation agreement said my parents would pay for her to fly to Florida every time.
Oh, see, I wasn't
360.
on that mediation, so I don't know much about that.
During that
See, you're in
mediation-
a strong position in this case because you are in good terms with your
During that
parents.
mediation, she's straight
See, you're in
admitted, that even after getting out of jail, she's still drinking.
But you're on strong terms because the children are with your family. And so when the children in a Chen's case are with your family, you can stay on good terms with your family. We can work around and get you contact with them. If they were with her family, you would have a different, your case would look differently. You've got the, you're in the driver's seat on that one.
She
Just
doesn't-
don't fuck it up.
She doesn't have any family, and her sister.
You do. That's just what,
Her sister who volunteered to
You know, and
take
they
my
have to leave
kids.
of the court
That's just the way it is.
Advise my clients that we're not going to have them on the call while this portion is being resolved regarding the situation.
Sure, we'll initiate, yeah. As soon as we're ready, we'll call them. If we've got a number where we want us, we'll call them so they're not sitting around trying to call us.
Who shall I give that to?
The number to call them?
Yes.
Just our clerk.
Okay.
Can't spell the word permanent. I'm having a block. I want to make sure I get it on here because you know how it is. I gotta come over and make a file, copy of all the file, and then talk to you about it.
That's like when I went from one public defender to another one, half the paperwork magically disappeared.
What happened?
Some of the paperwork disappeared.
Oh, well, I can find the paper. That's not gonna be an issue for Cindy.
Pretty obvious.
I don't want to get to know him, I'm sorry.
Forgot about that paperwork too.
What are you doing now? Child support stuff. What's this?
You can gain her home detention, so you
Oh,
can't go
okay,
back.
don't go there. Don't go there. Can you put this on more than you need to?
Has TCS seen this? No. Okay.
We just put it all
Has-
together last night.
Has the Costa seen this?
They're right now.
Okay. Because this is not what, she's telling me this is not what grandparents are talking about at all.
Are your parents talking to her directly?
Through text and everything,
Well, then they can work it out.
whenever they can,
Why
whenever
can't
she
they?
answers.
Why don't they just work it out with her? She's not gonna do it anyway. Is she really gonna follow through with it? What part of Florida do your parents live in?
Fort Myers, very nice area. Dad's got a,
What made him go down there?
well, medically he had to get out of the cold and everything.
Oh, I see.
He's,
For,
he's got titanium and cadaver in him. He's medically screwed up. So
I
to
mean,
say.
like from, like arthritis type symptoms and
Yeah.
things like that. I've heard of that.
Well, he was on an aircraft carrier for 20-something
Right.
years, so
That's what-
and
If the cold exacerbates the arthritis condition, then
he's 6'7" or 6'9", so he's a big guy. I'm
do
a
you have
midget.
siblings that live down there?
My sister, she's down there with them.
How old is she?
Let's see, that'd be what, 34? She's 32.
Does she have children down
No.
there too?
Nope.
Do they enjoy having their grandchildren with them?
That's the only way I get to see my kids. When I log on Facebook, I'll see a video or something.
But you could get to that point where you could see your kids.
Got to see them while they were here on the 21st, just briefly,
What were they doing back here then?
for her to have her visitation.
And
They
then,
flew up here and for the court case.
do they have family down there or here too that they see?
My mom's dad's out in Kokomo.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that. That's right. So that would be nice because then she could see her dad
Yeah.
too.
Well, that
So there are times when they come back to Lafayette anyway.
well, that kind of caused a conundrum because, I
You
mean,
what?
that caused a conundrum because here it was, they were trying to do visitation with her during that whole week that they were here that she had off on the schedule that he's got.
It's okay.
And she was a no-call, no-show. And then my parents were going, have you talked to her? I said, no, I haven't talked to her since the last time I talked to her.
You're going to have to step out of her life and stop trying to manage her life. You don't have a relationship with her, do you?
Nope.
You don't want one. You're done romantically.
For the most part.
Uh-oh.
That's my feelings ain't ever going to
You didn't
change.
say yes.
But, you know, the last time me and her talked, oh, I think we're better off as friends. I straight looked her in the face and said, the only time you ever contact me, even as a friend, since this stuff has started to happen, is when you need help.
Well, some people are users, you know that. Some
And
people in our lives.
I told her, I said, there's no friendship here. You don't call me just to hang out or anything.
Some people in our lives are users. You surely know that,
So,
right?
yeah.
I mean, sometimes you can hook up with a person who's just a user. Don't be shocked by it.
So,
It's getting all worked up out there. She can't handle it.
no, because, okay, here's what I found out. Last time I talked to her, she looked me straight in the face and she said, do you notice anything different about me? I said, not really. I noticed that you got your hair cut. But nothing really, super wham, bam, thank you, man. Oh, well, never mind. I'm not going to tell you. Okay, well, why'd you bring it up? You don't want to tell me then. And then she breaks down and tells me, oh, I got Botox done. Of the $80,000 she had, she's already given away over $20,000 of it, or spent $20,000 of it. It's going out and getting Botox,
I don't think it costs that much.
like $500. It's still the whole concept of she
I know.
literally
Well, what
walked
you're-
in this courtroom with a brand new iPhone 6. The big
The
one.
issue you're raising is that she may be not able to handle her funds. You know, she may be.
Well, I know that for a fact.
I mean, some people just can't. You're
She
just
can't. I know that for a fact. She can't.
And that doesn't help you or help her or help the children.
No. But it's like, I'm supporting my own single bedroom apartment at $455 plus my electric, plus my trash, plus I'm paying my own bills, plus paying some of her bills, and it's like. And from day one, I told her, I said, look, you can't be on this disability shit no more. You need to work a part-time job.
Are drugs involved?
Well, don't. What, for her being on disability?
No, just drugs for her.
Pills, alcohol. And they've done that for
You mean
days.
like illegal prescription pills
Yeah, Xanax, Klonopins.
without prescriptions?
Well, she had a prescription for the longest time because she's bipolar. But she abused the hell out of them. And they were told that when I did the welfare check back in July when I was concerned
So her
about
behavior would get really bad.
Yeah. And we've been here for a couple court cases because her pill counts have been off. Now her doctor is taking her off those meds.
Because she takes too many of them when she has a
Takes
prescription.
too many of them, and she's a known alcoholic, so the doctor won't give it to her.
So it's a bad situation. Last time you were in court was on January 31st.
21st. That's when she signed it.
Oh, yes, you're correct. It was signed 10 days later. Okay.
Yeah, and then
And that's when she made these.
and that's when that order came out.
Yeah.
It was on the 3rd that she got it signed.
We have next week, I also want to talk about this, because this is now court. We're about to see if we need to modify this, change it, or what can we do about it. That's what we're going to focus on, okay?
Most of it's already been done.
Right. Not here in public. And you've got my phone number there to make an appointment, so do that right away. Call my
The
secretary.
80-20 number?
80-40.
80-40?
Yeah. My secretary will book it for you.
Yeah, she took down one name and one number and I never got a call and I was like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah. Well,
Well, I
sometimes,
figured you guys were waiting for the paperwork to come
yeah,
through.
because sometimes we don't know anything, so it's really, I try and return them all the same day, but if I don't have the paperwork, sometimes I don't. But you can communicate with me at any time.
time I come here, I'm amazed by something new.
Architecturally?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you ever seen, but when those doors are open, the hinges got designs on
Yeah,
them.
they're neat, aren't they? We had when I was a young attorney, when they remodeled the courthouse, we had here, they all rented another building, and so for 3 years we were in another building while they stripped it down and brought all that back. So I kind of saw the progress of it a little bit.
One of the sheriffs told me they had to hire somebody to actually
Yes.
hand reproduce that or something.
Yeah, it was a client of mine that did it, but we were in an office building, it was across the way, and we were there for like 2-3 years. So they, nothing took place in the building, it was like totally gutted out, and then they had tours, and, they had brochures and stuff to show what they'd done, yeah,
I'm surprised they don't got any paintings up here on this floor.
yeah.
Where, is your attorney here? Are the attorneys are all out there walking on the big session?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a dog in the fight,
I mean, they're your children, so you always have that concern.
I'm just gonna have, so I can dictate some dates to you. So I have written all lots of things, it'll just be easier if you have it written down, you're not scrambling around when we get on the record.
Okay, well, we can modify those.
With Lila, foster care, 8/9/2014. Lila, maternal grandparents, 12/3/2014. 12/3/2014. And then for Mason, if it was make the list for Mason. Mason was placed with father November 6, 2013. Foster care December 27, 2013. Travel visit with mom, May 19, 2014.
Never happened.
Foster care
So where are you living now?
August 9.
Here in town,
An apartment? Oh, okay.
right by the Walgreens in town, corner 18th and
Yes, I know
South.
exactly where, okay.
5 Points. So that's called 5 Points.
I called that, but do you have a
Now, you're not
car?
scrambling around trying to
Do you
write
walk
that
around? Do
down
you have a
as I
car?
say it.
I have a car. My buddy currently has it because I assumed I was going to jail today for bad child support.
You're going to jail. It's never gonna happen.
What the shit they tried to pull.
I'm not having it.
I work from 2 to 10 midnight at CAT. They want me to do visitations with my son at 4 o'clock in the
We're not doing
afternoon.
that, no.
Know those timeframes when we,
Mom had control.
as we.
There's no content. Tears have today.
Clarify everything we've ever done about child support.
Okay, I think the only thing that I had for today that we haven't noticed before was that the $28 a week that Mom Christina was going to pay Justin, that was started on 8/12/2014, and it was abated on the April 9th, 2014 order. So,
I don't have any of that. I don't think so. Mom was, I have December 27, 2000.
You probably know the dates where people were, at least where people were living. You might not know what the court orders say, but you know where people were living, right? Okay.
And then April 9, 2014. Mom and dad to pay zero because it was temporarily abated as of April 4th.
I'm going to go there and tell them we need to move forward.
May 22nd.
So we need to get this done.
Father child support, $75 mom to start. Travel visit.
could sit here all day. There's no point in it. What's the last order say about a parent time? Oh, it says that as agreement, as agreed. So to go to by parties. So that's the problem, it's the, it says agreement, and there's no agreement.
All right, Lindsay, can
That's
you
just
hear me now?
These are your, is that your dad?
Agreement in Tippecanoe County, I'm going to go on the record here. We have two cause numbers in the TINS proceeding, 7903, 1310,
Okay.
JC 235, and 1408, JC 226, regarding Mason and Lila. The state is also here for the related paternity action, 79D03, 1409, JC 216, and 1308, JC 241. Both the mother and the father are present today by counsel. The cause is here by counsel, DCS by counsel. We have the relative placement paternal grandparents attorney by telephone today, and their counsel is also present in the courtroom. I'm first going to deal with the state and all the child support issues so that the state can be excluded, and it's just a matter of the court is going to, on its own motion, clarify all previous orders related to child support as follows. Let's see. Mason was placed in father's care on November 6, 2013. Mother was ordered to pay father $28 per week in support
October
on
29th.
December 27, 2013, abated for
So
a
what's
period
that?
of 14
Friday
weeks
of that week then?
Something like that.
Yeah.
to offset any arrears father might have previously owed to the mother. And then Mason was placed in foster care on December 27, 2013.
Is that correct? Is that when he went to live with your parents?
No, he's been foster care.
Before the parents?
Mm-hmm.
Is that date correct?
Sounds right. It was in December,
Trial
right
home
after our
visit
court hearing, they
commenced
took him.
on May 19, 2014. Mother and father's child support were determined to be temporarily abated to zero on April 9, 2014, effective April 4, 2014. Mason was then placed back in foster care on August 9, 2014. On May 22nd, 2014, father's child support obligation was scheduled to be $75 per week for the mother during the trial home visit. And then Mason was placed with the paternal grandparents on December 3rd, 2014. So considering all of those dates and times, for the period of the trial home visit from May 19, 2014 to August 9, 2014, father was to pay child support to the mother in the sum of $75 per week. For the period of time that Mason was in foster care from December 27, 2013 to May 19, 2014, court's going to determine that neither parent was ordered to pay child support to anyone. It was a zero. And then from the period of foster care on August 9, 2014, the placement of paternal grandparents on December 3rd, 2014, child support obligation from each parent is zero. We're not going to worry about directing it anywhere. As far as any amounts owed from either parent to the paternal grandparent's relative placement, that remains open at this time. No child support obligation has ever been established yet for Lila, so there's nothing to direct at all or do. And child support obligations from the parents to the paternal grandparents will also remain open at this time. I hope that's enough information to clarify for the state to management needs to determine arrears at the next scheduled hearing. Okay. And then we can go if you'd like. And then today our real issue is what the schedule for visitation or parenting time will be between the mother and the children, given that they have now been placed with maternal grandparents in another state, and distance is a major factor. I don't want to hear about any prior agreements. I don't care what you've agreed to prior to today. I don't care if you've complied or not complied with those agreements prior to today. All I want to know, is there an agreement this instant going forward? Yes or no? I don't want to hear anything. Why? DCS, in your perspective, is there an agreement going forward? Yes or no?
No,
Casa?
No, Judge.
Mr. Thompson?
No.
Sorensen?
No.
Ms. Smith?
We weren't a party to those negotiations, so I have no idea.
All right. I don't care what's happened before. All I want to know is what we're going to go here forward. So I'm happy to allow counsel to present their client's position summarily if you'd like to do so, or I'm happy to take testimony. But the court's going to make a decision on this today in the best interest of the children, looking at it through the eyes of the children. Because the parents had done everything they were supposed to be, these kids were not be placed outside the state. So I'm not going to inconvenience the relative placement or cause harm to the children by carting them all over the place because of what the parents did or did not.
That's fair.
So knowing that in advance, you all can address whatever you want to address with regard to that. But keep in mind, this is not what's in the best interest of the parents, it's what's in the best interest of the children.
You want them to stay in Florida.
So
I mean, they can't be running
perhaps we'll
airplane,
start
they
with the
can't be
father,
running
because I'm not sure he has any position on this either way.
He just put, I just, talked to him briefly, of course. Excuse me, I'm having a hard time. Okay. And so he wants the interest of the children to be taken into consideration, obviously. And I haven't been involved in this case long term, but my understanding is the children are with his parents in Florida, and that he will be accepting the court, your decision on what's in the best interest of the children and taking into consideration that they should not be traveling back to Indiana. They should not be, disrupted in that way. And you have right now only supervised parenting time anyway you're talking about with her in this case, correct?
Oh, with the mother?
Yeah,
That's what it had been.
yeah.
And as far as contact between the dad and the children.
I saw your order on that. Yeah, and I'll be working with him on that. Yeah, he'll be working with me on that to get that remedy because you had a specific requirement that he was to do. I mean, that's pretty clear. But I wasn't at that last hearing, obviously, but
He doesn't have a strong position either way. He wants
No.
to act in the best interest.
That's
of the
right.
children, accept whatever the court's
Right.
position is. Does DCS have a
Sound
strong
accurate?
position either way?
We do have a position, Judge.
Tell me why, just tell me what your position is.
because you
Our
have
position is
specific things in
that
here about your parent
mothers
code, you
should
never
be
come
allowed
to
to
those and
visit
start
with the
visiting
children
with your
in
kids.
Florida, supervise. And at a rate of between 4 to 7 days a month.
And that's, just so I understand, you want mom's contact with the children to be supervised. You want it to occur in Florida between 4 to 7 days a month. And the children would not come here, mom would have to go there. That is that position.
We're fine, I think, DCS thinks it's half the time mom should be going to Florida. We think it's not in the children's best interest to be traveling to Indiana every month, but we do think mothers should feel that visitation every month.
Right. And what's the cost of this position?
Judge, we agree with DCS. We think the mother's entitled to 4 to 7 days per month in Florida. They're supervised for now.
And you're, just so I understand, that if any visitation you're asking to occur in Florida, mom to get herself there.
Yes.
Mom do the travel, that's your position. Okay. And then I will let mom go last so she can respond to everybody. Mr. Thompson, what is the position of the grandparents? Not why, just what are they?
Yes, and Your Honor, we have a very clear and detailed position. It is entirely consistent with some
Don't tell me any, don't tell me about what's consistent, I just want to
No, I mean, in other words,
what is their proposal?
okay, their proposal is that mother would have 4 to 7 days of supervised visits in Florida. Furthermore, that those visits would occur initially, at least for the first 3 months in their home, that she would be welcome to stay in their home if she chose to, that provided that she submits clean drug and alcohol screenings prior to going to Florida, they would be willing to reimburse her up to $350 for a plane ticket to make those trips, okay? And they would like to have a progressive schedule after that, if those visits are successful, that would include return trips to Indiana and begin to allow the visits to be unsupervised after the three months of successful visits in Florida. They would also like to have, with limits of no more than mother's parenting time, that father should be allowed to have some supervised visits with the parents in the grandparents' home, but that he would not be allowed to have any unsupervised visits until he complied with all the requirements made by DCS to get those to unsupervised visits. They would be limited only to the grandparents' home for short duration.
Concerns with what you're doing.
That's
That's their
the
position.
parents' position. Yes.
Then what is the mother's proposal?
Your Honor, regarding the father's visits, the mother agrees that the father should have supervised visits as can be arranged, but that he should not have unsupervised visits until he completes the recommendations that were in place regarding the mental health treatment and so on. Regarding her visits, we agree that there should be monthly visits. We agree on the duration of 4 to 7 days. This can be arranged. The issue is where those visits take place.
And like how long do I be supervised?
She would like something in there regarding when the supervision goes to unsupervised. I believe we're proposing.
I don't know, and then they're saying the same amount.
Okay, don't worry about what they're saying. This is where you can judge what you want. What do you want?
I've got
I don't think.
supervised visits 4 to 7 days
Be done with this.
each month, can be arranged. She'd like to have a more certain date about when the level of supervision.
Or a certain benchmark,
There's no reason you can't get that.
rather than just at the grandparents' discretion.
Travel, the issue, what's her proposal on travel? Or where those would occur?
And my,
It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't matter to me where it's at. I mean, you can't have it, you can't have a contract, you can't change it. You can't keep it clearly. She can't speak clearly, she can't think clearly. She can't talk to us, she's in my head, so now, all of this crap. I just. I know you've already said.
I know.
That's why I put you there, not me.
Okay.
So it don't help.
Alternating months between Florida and Indiana.
Do they get rid of us with the dad?
And my client is requesting, if the visit is in Indiana, that she be provided with a copy of the grandparents' itinerary so that she
I didn't
knows
know if he had
exactly when they're
health
coming into
problems or
town.
something. You know, I didn't know if he had health problems or something.
And in Florida, the 4 to 7 days, is that, are she?
What about financially, can they
That would
afford
be
all
at the
that?
maternal grandparents'
From my parents?
We're in agreement that she may stay out there, but she has family in Florida as well, so that's at her
She
discretion.
may or may not say there, but.
May or may not.
Occur there.
Yes.
All right, so I think I have everybody's input here. Clearly, recognizing that there's a distance, it appears to be everyone's on the same page that monthly visits should occur. Everybody seems to be on the same page that 4 to 7 days a month seems like a reasonable number of days given the distance and circumstances. Everybody seems to agree that the visits can occur in the paternal grandparents' home. And everybody seems to be on the same page that, at least at this moment in time, the order is for those visits to be supervised. The question seems to be when can supervision
4 months
be
later, do you know
increased?
you're going to jail? That's why I got those receipts.
And where the travel, who should be incurring travel, when, for the visits to occur, if in Florida, mom's okay at the paternal grandparents' home. All right,
I haven't looked into
so
that yet.
it's really a matter of distance, and, a benchmark for supervision. So, I think the court's decision will weigh a lot on whether or not the mom is able to pass a drug screen today. So when's the last time there's been a drug screen conducted on the mom?
They came and gave me one today. Child Family Partners.
Was it a hair drug screen, a urine drug screen, a
Urine.
drug screen?
Huh? The one before that would have been a week ago today. Yes.
And do you know the results of that one? Was that oral hair?
That was urine.
You're requesting hair follicle.
Then a couple days before that, I had an oral one.
Any results?
The last drug screen we had a result from was February 2nd and state moved, so we would count that.
Father's requesting hair follicle
On the mother or on him?
on the mother.
Okay.
All right, so I see that apparently the last recorded result was a drug screen conducted February 2nd. Returning, I believe there's been additional drug screens since we don't have results of many of those. I get that February 2nd, I assume was a urine drug screen.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Thomas, loaded.
All right, so I'm happy to hear again, anything that you all want to tell me on a summary basis, or you can hear testimony. I prefer a summary basis because I think testimony is going to be a difficult process with the number of folks that we have. And I'm quite familiar with the case and its history and where we stand today, and I'm certainly going to like to have the results of, I'd like to have a hair drug screen as well before making a final decision. I can certainly take it under advisement because obviously we've got time because the kids aren't here, so everybody's got to make travel arrangements for an initial contact anyway. So,
She doesn't want to do it.
does DCSU want to submit anything else with Samira?
I thought I told that one.
No, Your Honor, just visitation for mom, I think the benchmark we would like to see is
I know.
6 months of sobriety.
I understand.
Before her visitation becomes semi-supervised. And I think we would count that from her first positive screen after February 2nd, since that one was a lose. In terms of father's visitation, DCS is not in agreement with father having any visitation at this time. We've
You don't
had
need to take that
many
right off today.
hearings on father's
About your
visitation.
I'm not, with regard to that, I mean,
We're
I'm
not-
very clear in my
yeah.
order. I don't think that's.
I thought your
gonna
order was
change.
very clear.
Yeah, that's not going to change today. He's going to have to comply.
He and I will be meeting and talking about that.
Sure. I know, and there's nothing that is.
We'll be meeting and talking about those orders.
Cause the court to modify that.
We're not even.
All right, so that's not necessary. Anything else? Casa, anything else that you want to?
Judge, I think it'd just be fair to have dad submit to a screen too, mom and dad both submit to screens, whether it's hair or otherwise. I suggest her from both, given their history. We are in agreement with DCS again. I like the schedule that they come to, 4 to 7 days, once a month. at least 6 months of sobriety for mom before she can exercise unsupervised or partially supervised.
All right, and then, Cindy.
The only question I have is why do you need to build in that kind of schedule when you have a continued permanency plan? I see here in your order in April. Why couldn't you have an order now and then see where you were in April? See if any parenting time has taken place, see how the children did, see how the guardians did. I don't see why you would need to go long-term when you have you're going to have a turn in the case here in the next, 2 months, it looks like. If that order is correct, that's what I read. I wasn't here last time, so I don't know if that's correct.
And then Mr. Thompson for relative placement, anything else?
Because you're going to be back
The
here in
two
2
things,
months. Get your
one,
shit together.
if it turned out to be 6 months of sobriety, my clients would not object. They are open to shorter, but not less than 3 months. And given that sensitivity, Your Honor, if on April 22nd, we would anticipate having 2 visits and only 2 visits, and less than 3 months would have passed since, less than 90 days would have passed since their first clean test. You know, we might, I think we would ask the court to continue that hearing until at least early May,
We can't continue it.
the timeframes that we're working with and the issue of placement. The second issue that we would have would just be about the visitations. We would like for at least 90 days to go by of visits in Florida. The reason for that, offering summary testimony, is that my clients arrived here on the 15th or 16th of January for a hearing on the 21st. It took at least to the 4th day that they were here before mother was available for a visit with the children. So they spent considerable time. She was not working during that time. And in fact, there were wellness checks done at her home because they couldn't reach her by text message or telephone. A Christmas party had been planned on that Saturday, the 17th, and it turned out when they communicated on the 18th, she had not even done the Christmas shopping, and in fact was unavailable to see them on the 18th because she wanted to get her Christmas shopping done before she saw them. So my clients incurred extraordinary expense, close to $3,000 between the 4 of them traveling, the hotel accommodations and other things, that pack and play and so forth that they had to purchase while they were here. And they just have a much nicer environment in Florida. The visitations are more reliable, and we think there's absolutely no reason to require them to come back to Indiana, at least in the first 90 days, until those regular visitations and the reliability of them are established. Thank you.
All right, and then,
Your Honor, my client would agree to the 3 to 6 month that the guardians, or the potential, I guess, the placement, relative placement proposed of sobriety. However, I don't believe that it should be starting with the dilute. The screens, it's not a case where my client is given a window, you need to take a drug screen within 4 hours, and she has control over that time period. Her urine screens are taken in her home. Someone shows up on her doorstep and takes the urine screen. And so I don't believe the dilute should be counted against her. She had no way of knowing what day they were going to do that, what time they were going to do that. And she can't be expected to stay in a partial dehydration to make sure she does not have a dilute screen. It should go back to whatever the last positive screen was for her, which I don't know that day. And that would be when she was arrested last August.
I think you mean the last negative drug screen.
Well,
Last drug screen with nothing
with
showing.
nothing showing, yes, but the last negative following the most recent positive. So, but that's still in August. And then my client, part of the reason we are asking for an itinerary is she did not know beyond a few days window when the grandparents were coming. She agrees, she thought they were coming on Friday. She agrees she was not in contact over Saturday and Sunday, but I don't know that she ever got firm travel information. She saw the children on Monday. She was not available on Sunday. and maybe she should have been, but they did not have firm plans. There was poor communication between both of them. There was no communication, I don't even think, on Thursday or Friday, and I don't think she had their actual travel information, just a window of when they thought they were going to be coming. I might mention on court after Wednesday, the grandparents said that they had plans for that evening with family or friends or something in Kokomo. So obviously, they have other reasons to come to Indiana, not only for this case or these children.
And, Your Honor, we have objective testimony to rebut what their summary is, and if those issues are being resolved, we'd like to be able to present evidence to the contrary.
Which particular issue are you?
Well, multiple things. First of all, their Skype records indicate they were in communication, attempting to
Well, I
communicate.
understand. They say they were communicated. She says she weren't. That's not.
But also, with respect to the day of the CASA, the text records indicate they were absolutely available and tried to make it possible for Christina to see the children on the same day. She was not available and insisted that they not see them, that she would not see them until 9:30 the next morning.
I can clarify. I'm saying when we left court, they said, no, they had plans. They, hours later, said, oh, we changed our plans, you can. By that time, my client was no longer available after having been
I
told.
understand. There's a lot of he said, she said.
Right.
Communication between the grandparents and the mother. I take that into consideration. Right. Anything else there?
I don't remember, I got interrupted a couple times, but I don't think so.
Right, so
I think it
I'm
matters, 'cause
clear as
she's
to what
never gonna
the
go to the case.
issue is, and I'm also clear that I want to have the results of a hair drug screen before making a final decision. So I'm going to take this under advisement. I'm going to order the mother to submit to a hair drug screen today. DCS, you can always collect a hair drug screen from the father as well. But my main issue today is mom, because I need to make this determination, and I want to get those results as quick as possible. And then as soon as the court, the DCS has the results from the hair drug screens, it goes to the court, and the court will issue a ruling on this. I'll take it under advisement today. And I can tell you right now, if you do not take that hair drug screen today, this order is not going to be in your favor. So we need to get that done today.
Think so?
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell.
Are we keeping that?
Yes, I will keep the permanent meeting.
What I need you to do is call us, make an appointment, okay?
Can I just walk over there after here?
We can do it right now. Let's just do it right now with my
Are
cell
we,
phone.
are we done?
Yep,
Okay.
let's do it with my cell phone right now. Let's use our smarts and our wits and what we have.
Connect now, grandparents, and if you get with your trainers or comments.
Okay, let's look at next week. You gonna be available?
Thank you.
Might be the week of the, is that right? Yeah.